Hello, good evening, everyone. How is everyone out there doing today? Hope everyone is well. I'm excited to be back here again to talk about another greeting card that I was given by someone who is special to me. This is actually a dear friend, someone that I have known for a couple of decades. I believe I met her in the 90s. Her name is Yvonne, and her daughter, Aisha, is my daughter's best friend, one of her best friends, and has been for well over 2 decades. Well, this card is about being thankful. Here's the front of the card. You see, it just says thanks. I think it's a pretty card. I love the color green. Yellow is my favorite color, but I have a lot of green in my house and a lot of green in my life and a lot of blue, so maybe I have a few favorite colors. Well, let me tell you the story behind this card, and then I'll read the card. So about 10 or 11 years ago, I believe in 2011 and 2012, I have a friend named Trina, and Trina started a book club, and it was awesome. We'd get together at her house or at Panera Bread or something like that, and we'd talk about, a book that we've read, and Trina would usually have some questions all typed out for us to answer, and we'd sit around the table and talk about it, the book. And that was a lot of fun. It was a small group of women, and we all had things in common. Most of us were single, and most of us were at the same church, and it was just a lot of fun. I mean, we'd go to Trina's house and have some little pastries or desserts or whatever, and just sit there and just have good fellowship with each other. Well, during that time, I was inspired to start making prayer boxes. Okay, and I do the quotes because I mean they were like my rendition of or my version of what prayer boxes would look like. I'm not that good at crafts and making stuff, so I just did my best. So I made a bunch of friends, a bunch of the ladies, a little prayer box. And I bought these little white boxes and I decorated them and put a little notepads and pens inside of each box. And the purpose of the prayer box was so that each person, whenever they would become aware of a need, they would write the little prayer request down on a piece of paper, drop it in the box, and then just lay their hands on that box uh, whenever they went into prayer and just pray over those needs. And I probably made about 6 or 7 or 8 of those prayer boxes. It's been over a decade now, so I don't have one myself. I think at one point I did have one that I actually made, but now I have a different one, which I will show you all in a minute. Anyways, so one of the ladies that I gave a prayer box to was very thankful for it. And of course, her name was Yvonne. And so I'm going to read this card to you that Yvonne gave me. Okay. So it says, "Dear Sister Lena," that would be me. She says, "I thank God for you and the lovely prayer box gift. In our busy lives, there is a need to connect with our sisters and brothers in Christ. I don't know if you're thinking that a card was not needed, but truly it was. Your time and love and prayers are deeply appreciated. To God be the glory forever and ever. Your friend Yvonne. P.S. Oh yes, there's a P.S. You once told me that it is never too late to send a card because you may not know how much a card may bless someone. So, from my heart, I hope this card has blessed you." I don't remember telling her that, but I probably did. I'm sure I did. And what's so good about it is she remembered. So I'm thinking I got this card from her in the summer of 2012, maybe like around July. So again, here's the front of the thank you card. And this is a Hallmark card. The Connections edition, okay? And I love that this card was not, it was 47 cents. And I can't remember a time I was able to get a card for that, cheap, especially such a pretty card. And I think that's one of the reasons many people don't buy cards anymore is because they are so expensive. So I think the best way to start handing out cards to people is to, buy them in bulk, buy a pack of cards. They can all say the same thing or different things or whatever. But if you buy a pack instead of cards individually, they're cheaper. But I just love this card. I love this card. So Yvonne, I really like Yvonne. I haven't seen her in a few years, but she is a lady that I used to attend church with for years and years and years until I moved out of the state. And her daughter, Aisha, is like my daughter. She's got a wonderful son who is a musician. He can play the keyboard. And then she has 2 more children that I am also fond of. Okay, well, let's talk about the prayer box. So this is my version of a prayer box. Now, when I say my version, it just means this is what I went to the store and purchased. Because I don't know how to make such a pretty box. Look at this box, okay? I think I picked this up from Michael's, maybe? I think it might have been Michael's. Either Michael's or Tuesday Morning, but probably Michael's. And then you can lift it up like this, open it up, and look at how pretty that is. You see the gold backing on that? I just think that's a beautiful box. Now, with my prayer box, what I have done is I have, over the years, since 2011, and I still have some prayer requests in here from that time period. Many of these are dated 2011, 2012. I even made some, I typed up some victory reports, and on the other side it says prayer request. And I would just write down the prayer request, the name of the person I was praying for, the date, the issue, drop it in here, close this box up, go into my prayer time, put my hand on this box, and just start praying for all of the needs. I don't believe I have ever gotten rid of a prayer request that I have put in this box. So some of these are over a decade old. So let's see, what else do we have in this prayer box? Well, I have a pouch of Smell Good here. It says Ashland Home Collections Fragrance Sachet, okay? This is very old. It's probably been in this box at least 10 years, and it still smells amazing. Like, it still smells amazing. And I love that pretty rose on there. Isn't that pretty? And it just makes my prayer box so special because when I open it, it's like there's just a sweet aroma of a sweet fragrance that comes from the box. I just love it. Here's another cute little notepad I keep inside of the box. Okay. This is what many of my prayer requests were written down on, okay? I love this little box. Look at the front of it. I bought this from Barnes & Noble probably a good 10 years ago. And I have all kinds of notes in here from this little note box here that I've already filled out with prayer requests. And let's see what else we have in here. Well, we have something else in here that I think is very nice. Let me share that with you. I came across a bookmark, okay? Look at that bookmark. This was given to me by a coworker named Jay, okay? That's her nickname. You'll see the back of the bookmark there. Jay gave me a little gift. I forget what the gift was, but she gave me a bookmark to go with it. And I thought it was special, so I dropped it in my little prayer box. And so it says, has anyone ever told you what a wonderful person you are? I hope so. I hope you've been told dozens of times because you are just amazing. And just in case you haven't heard those words in a while, I want you to hear them now. You deserve to know that. It takes someone rare and remarkable to make the lives of everyone around them nicer, brighter, and more beautiful. It takes someone who has a big heart and a caring soul. It takes someone who's living proof of how precious a person can be. It takes someone just like you. That was written by K.D. Stevens. Look at this. It's just, I like to show these things after I read them. That's just a really pretty bookmark. That was another thing that was special to me that went inside of this little prayer box that I'm keeping here. Now, I've come across quite a few thank you notes. I didn't realize I had been given so many thank you notes over the years, and I'll say something about that in just a minute. And then, of course, I have a book here. It's a book of scriptures that I keep in here so that whenever I'm praying for someone, I can go into this little book of scripture keys and I can find, scriptures that I can use to pray over that person. And this was actually given to me by a coworker named Ed maybe 25, 26 years ago. That was just the perfect gift from him. Well, so over the years, I have been given many, many thank you cards. And the reason I got this thank you card from Yvonne, and the reason my coworker gave me that bookmark to tell me that I was, a special person. I'm going to take these off because there's a glare. It's not because I'm really all that special. But what I do is I like to encourage people and I like to just be positive. I like to always be positive. You would be surprised how many people there are in this world that just, if you could, all they really need in life is some encouragement, or they need to know that someone believes in them. They need to hear something positive about themselves. They need to be told you can do it. And that's, if you're that kind of person that is always going around lifting people up or encouraging them or finding different ways to help them, that's like a ministry for you. It's like a care ministry. And I'm just, I'm kind of motherly, nurturing. I'm just one of those nurturing people. And you don't have to be a family member or a child for me to, be kind of like nurturing to you. It's just who I am. It's what I do. And so I've said a lot of encouraging things to people over the years to just help them to feel good about themselves, help them to not be in the dumps. And in turn, I have received so many cards. And as I look through my card collection, it's like, wow, they're all saying the same thing. So I'm actually learning something about myself, and that is that I do tend to reach out to people to encourage them, to help them in any kind of way that I can. It's who I am. I care about people, and I'm pretty thoughtful. It's just, it's who I am. Now, I can be grouchy now, don't get me wrong. I can be grouchy just like the next person. But for the most part, I try to make everyone know that they are important, cared about, loved, thought about. If I have a friend that's looking for a job or something, I'm going to encourage them. I will do their resume for them, whatever. And in this particular case, I was inspired after one of our book club meetings to make some prayer boxes. And I made them as pretty as I could. They were slightly laughable because, like, I don't have the best crafting skills, but the women loved my little prayer boxes and they loved the little notepads and pens that were inside of each of them. And I got some emails thanking me for the prayer boxes. This is the only card that I received, and I forgot that I had this card. This card was given to me 10 or 11 years ago, and I don't think I've seen it since it was given to me. So as I was going through my cards, I was like, oh, here's a card from Yvonne, one of my dear friends. So Yvonne, thank you so much for this card. I hope I told you thank you when you gave it to me. This is such a pretty card, and it's a good reminder of our relationship and that we're just friends, you know. We're like lifers. We haven't seen each other in some years because we no longer live in the same state. We attend different churches, but our girls see each other at least yearly, a couple times a year. They travel to see each other. Of course, there's Facebook and all of that. But Yvonne, I wanted to say thank you for thanking me with such a pretty card. I really appreciate it. And I hope you found that prayer box to be useful. You know, you might not have it anymore, but hopefully when you did have it, and maybe you do have it, hopefully you felt inspired to think about other people, pray for other people, and wish someone else well without them even knowing about it. And that's the thing about these prayer boxes. People don't necessarily know that you're praying for them. And it's just a really good thing to do. So I would encourage you all to just do something like this. You know, you can make a prayer box. You can do a box and call it well wishes and just journal some things down. Maybe you have a friend that is special to you. You can just write some nice little things. I just love so-and-so because this is what they did for me today. And you can just drop it in your little box. And, you know, the years will go by and you'll be able to go back and look at those notes and remember those people fondly. And that's what it's really all about. I'm so thankful that I still have my prayer box and all of the prayer requests that originally went into this box over 10 years ago, because it's helped me to remember people and their needs. And, you know, it helps me to see where they've come from and where I've come from, you know. And sometimes I can look at these prayer requests and go, that situation changed for them. I wonder if it was a result of my prayer along with other people who have been praying for them. So anyway, I just love sharing my cards with you all. I hope you all are enjoying hearing the stories that I'm telling about the people behind the cards or the situations behind the cards. They are just something special. And I am going to wrap this video up. I will be doing my next video this coming Thursday evening. I post these videos twice a week, Thursday evening and Sunday evening. I don't know what we're going to be talking about on Thursday evening, but I will find a nice card to share with you all. I'm going to try to start sharing photos too. Well, I'll share photos of my pets. Not everyone wants their photo to be shown, you know, on a platform like this. So, anyways, thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I hope you all enjoyed listening to my little story. And I hope you all will consider subscribing to my channel or giving me a thumbs up or just leaving a nice comment to let me know, hey, I was inspired by the story that you just told, or hey, here's a story about some cards that I received. You know, I would love to hear some of your stories out there. Anyways, that's going to be a wrap. Share my channel with other people. And until Thursday night, good evening. Have a good evening. Have a good afternoon. Whenever you are watching this channel, may you enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you later. Bye.